if that isn't a textbook Flyers win from this past decade, I have no idea what to say, but what a win! What a win by this Flyers team against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and everyone was ready to tear this team limb from limb. I was one of those people that wanted to tear these guys limb from limb, because those first 4 minutes of the game were absolutely embarrassing. It was trash. It was disgusting how they allow Pittsburgh to go up 3-0. Yeah, the first two goals were very, very fluky, but it was just a breakdown after breakdown after breakdown. But you score one goal in the third period, but even after the third goal from the Penguins, you call a timeout. You get a power play. You score on that power play. Then you chip your way back into the game bit by bit. You play better than them for the second half of the first period. More of a back and back in the second period, but you get majority of the chances, and you make it a 3-2 game. Then in the third period, you play like the better team. You still muck and grind. You get the tying goal, and then you get the game-winning goal late. Claude Giroux, if this guy gets any more slander, if he does, strip the C. He's not our captain. He's not good anymore. I don't want to hear that anymore. I bet the Giroux haters are really shutting up right now because they have nothing to say about Claude Giroux, my captain. Man, I love Claude Giroux so much. He was amazing today. He was absolutely amazing. He stepped up when the team needed him to. He gets 2 goals in this game. He gets 3 points in total. Just outstanding by Claude Giroux. And that line of Claude Giroux, Oscar Lindblom, and Nicolas Aube-Kubel, because you go into this game, Joel Farabee goes on COVID protocol. Sidney Crosby comes back from COVID protocol, which is honestly a little weird because I thought people that have been put on COVID protocol have to stay on there longer. Not sure if it was like a contact tracing thing or if it was a false positive or something like that. So it was a little weird seeing Crosby come back that early, but I guess he was cleared enough to go. But then you also trade off with Farabee going on COVID protocol. So Alain Vigneault has to shuffle the lines up a lot. Puts Jake Voracek up on the second line. Then you put Scott Laughton and Travis Konechny on the second line with Kevin Hayes. And then you put that line together on the third with Giroux, Lindblom, and Nicolas Aube-Kubel. Then you move Nolan Patrick to the fourth line with Bunneman and Raffl. Then you switch up the defensive pairings as well. You put Justin Braun up on the first pair with Ivan Provorov. You put back Travis Sanheim and Phil Myers together. And then you put Shane Gostisbehere together with Robert Haig. Ryan Ellie was in net tonight. And just, like I said, those first 4 minutes were just absolutely bad. The first goal by Clarisse Letang was just absolutely fluky. Penguins are forechecking into the Flyers zone. The Flyers actually, it felt like they won the puck battle, but the Penguins managed to, I think this play was unassisted actually. The puck just managed to get to the stick of Chris Letang on the right side on the point. He just literally throws it onto the net. You see Travis Sanheim trying to glove the puck down, and I think it might have tapped him a little bit because it goes under the arm of Brian Elliott and into the net. So it's an early 1-0 lead for the Penguins, and he kind of saw Brian Elliott to give the stare of shame to Travis Sanheim because I would assume Travis Sanheim probably hindered that goal. Probably caused that goal to happen. Maybe it prevented Brian Elliott from possibly making a pad save or something like that to where it forced the puck to go under the arm. So Chris Letang early, 1-0. And then basically instantly after this, get the Sidney Crosby line out there. And this is another very fluky goal too. The puck gets to the blue line, the blue paint. There's a little bit of a scramble out there. The puck somehow bounces up into the slot. And then out of all the goddamn people in the world to bury this puck, it's fucking Mark Friedman. Mark Friedman, the guy that we waived a couple of weeks ago, gets claimed by Pittsburgh and Ron Hextall. He's a Ron Hextall pick. Gets his first National Hockey League goal against the Flyers. You can't script it any better, I guess. And who the hell does Mark Friedman think he is? Who the hell does he think he is? Because there's been this whole, like even during the broadcast, they were kind of like referencing it to a little bit that him throwing a little bit of shade at the Flyers locker room, saying that the Penguins locker room atmosphere is so much better, yada, yada, yada. Who the hell does Mark Friedman think he is? And then, like you saw from the first game, too, of this series, where there's a little bit of rough stuff going between some of the bottom line Flyers guys and Mark Friedman as well. And you saw it in this game between Nolan Patrick and Mark Friedman, where Nolan Patrick took an early boarding penalty, and then you try to see Mark Friedman trying to run up on Nolan Patrick, and he gets absolutely torched. Nolan Patrick just absorbs the hit and knocks the idiot down. I'm like, who the hell do you think you are, Mark Friedman? Who do you think you are? You absolutely suck. So it's a 2-0 Pittsburgh. I got my little rant out there about Mark Friedman because I absolutely despise the guy now. And another instantaneous goal, a breakdown in defense, and it turns into a 2-on-1 for the Penguins. You get Jared McCann redirecting in a pass from Kasperi Kapanen, and instantly like that, it's 3-0. Instantly. So, and then after that goal, you see Sean Couturier just literally slam his stick down on the crossbar. It was bad. It was really, really bad. So, Alain Vigneault opts to call his timeout. And it was funny, too, because Chris, my co-host from the Flyer Up podcast, I was overreacting. I was giving off my anger saying, F this team and stuff like that. But then he said, this team is most likely going to come back and win. And by God, it actually happened. So, but even after this goal by Jared McCann, Nolan Patrick does take the penalty. The Penguins go on the power play. Flyers manage to kill it off. Then halfway through the period, the Flyers get a power play. And this first power play setup was actually really good. They were dishing the puck out. They were getting set up. They were getting pucks to the net. And then Sean Couturier, when we just saw him literally just smash his stick above the crossbar, literally quoted from Jim Jackson, takes his anger out on the puck, winds up for a slap shot, and it goes top cheese. It looked like it went off one of the Pittsburgh defenders' legs, I think. But it went top cheese, past Jarry, and it is a 3-1 Penguins lead. And the Flyers continue to get chances from there. I think they did get another power play in this game. I'm not entirely sure. I think they did in this first period. They weren't able to cash in on that. It wasn't as good as the first power play, but the Flyers, they made it 3-1 going after the first period. And the Flyers, through that second half of the first period, they looked a lot better. They were getting majority of the chances. They were out shooting Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh ever since that the third goal they scored, they only had one shot the rest of the period. So that definitely showcased how the Flyers were actually dominating the pace of the play at the second half of the first period. And that continued into the second period as well. The Flyers were getting their chances, and in the Pittsburgh Penguins, they were getting their chances too. It took a little bit to get into their situation in the second period. They got a little shots there. And then this is also the period where Mark Friedman tried to run at Nolan Patrick, and Patrick literally put him onto the ground. And that's where Mark Friedman didn't return into the game. And actually, he went into the locker room twice in this game. The first one on the penalty by Nolan Patrick, and the second time was on this hit by Nolan Patrick, where it looked like he literally got some whiplash and it knocked the wind out of him. So most likely he went into concussion protocol, and they kept him out of the game. So the Flyers, they continue to get their chances, and it's the third line out on the ice. Oscar Lindblom, Claude Giroux, Nicolas Aube-Kubel, they're battling. And this third line, they were getting chances the entire night. And there was one chance for Nicolas Aube-Kubel where he was coming up on the right side, and he decided to back pass it, like through his legs, when he had the wide open shot to take, and he didn't do it. But you get this goal right here by this third line. They're mucking and grinding. They get it in deep, and then it's a little bit of a bounce battle. You got Oscar Lindblom literally wide open in front of the net, in front of Tristan Jarry. He tries to deke him out. Jarry makes the initial save, but here comes Claude Giroux behind the net, getting the rebound and burying the biscuit, and it's a 3-2 game. And it looks like the momentum is continuing on the Flyer side. Yeah, the Penguins, they do get their chances. And yeah, some of them do become a little bit dangerous. You got Crosby winding up for a slap shot one-timer from probably the worst possible angle, mostly where he scores a lot of his goals at. But ever since that third goal, honestly, I wouldn't even blame Brian Elliott on any of these three goals. There was just so much breakdown. A lot of the goals were very fluky. Elliott did come up huge in this game, definitely, especially in the third period. Came up really huge for them. Really, really huge. So you get a 3-2 Penguins lead, and you go into the second period, and you keep the momentum on your side, and the Flyers didn't go away the entire night. It just feels like those first 5 minutes of the game, sometimes it felt like, oh, the Flyers going to get that tying goal. Is that last goal by the Penguins going to be the killer of this entire game? Because the Flyers played well majority of the game besides that first 5 minutes of the first period. So you go into the third period, and you get your chances. The Flyers are getting chances the entire time, and they don't get any power plays the rest of the game. They don't get one in the second period. They don't get one in the third period. There was a really soft penalty call in the third period on Kevin Hayes, called a hooking. It the hook didn't even get his body. It literally was on his stick. It was the softest call I've ever seen. Thankfully, the Flyers penalty kill managed to kill that power play off for the Penguins. And the Flyers continued to get chances from there. And then you go a little bit over halfway into this period. It's the third line once again. But this time it's a little bit of mixed up. Mainly, I wouldn't even say, yeah, the third line played really well in this game, but Claude Giroux especially, because he was out on the ice. This was a very fluky play. Very, very fluky. The Flyers looked like they were having trouble getting it into the offensive zone. But then you get a clear, like a dump in by Travis Konechny as both teams are trying to make the change. But then you get Konechny out there, you get Lawton out there, and you get Giroux out there. So Konechny, he gets it in deep, and then the Flyers manage to get something going there. And you get Claude Giroux in the slot. The puck somehow gets to his stick from Travis Konechny. He takes the shot, and it goes in off of Lawton's pants, and it also goes in off the back of Tristan Jarry, and it trickles into the net. And it's a tied game at 3-3. And Flyers, they make the comeback. They tie the game. They were down 3-0 and they tie it. Just, oh my, this is textbook Flyers. Exactly textbook Flyers. And then the Flyers continue to get their chances. The Penguins got their chances too. There was a great save on Jake Gensel by Brian Elliott. He got the toe save on there. It was a one-timer, and he got the great toe save. And then Evgeny Malkin had a great chance wide open in the slot, just wound up. And Elliott made the fantastic glove save, and it kept this game tied. He was making the big saves, especially late in this game. And then basically the coup de grace, the cherry on top, the third line out there once again, mucking and grinding. Nicolas Aube-Kubel throws the puck up to the middle of the ice where Claude Giroux is, and he manages to redirect the puck, and it trickles by Tristan Jarry. 4-3 Flyers, and the Penguins, this was with 2 minutes left in the game around that. The Penguins, immediately after, they get into the offensive zone. They pull Tristan Jarry. JVR had a chance at the open net. He iced the puck. The Flyers were icing the puck a lot during this standpoint. But the Flyers, they hampered it down. They shut down the Penguins. And there was a chance 5 seconds left on the faceoff. I was like, oh my God, please don't let it happen. But Brian Elliott made the save. And the Flyers finish off the comeback in grand style. And they win this game by a score of 4-3. What a win. What a win by this Flyers team. And like I said, I was ready to tear this team limb from limb after that first 5 minutes of the game. After those first 3 goals, those first 5 minutes, I was ready to tear this entire team anew. I wanted to trade it was baseless overreaction at that point. But after those first 5 minutes, Lane Vigneault called his timeout. Then it settled down the team. They settled down. They mucked and grind. They got a goal in each period, and they managed to win the game, and they scored the game-winning one late. And honestly, it kind of felt like it would have been more textbook if this went into overtime or they went into the shootout. But hey, I'll take the regulation points. I'll take the regulation win any day of the week. You don't get the Pittsburgh Penguins any type of points whatsoever. And you stay in 4th place in the standings, still with 2 games in hand on the Pittsburgh Penguins. And now you finish off this 3-game set on Saturday with a game at 1 o'clock. And also, during this game, Phil Myers in the second period took a weird hit into the boards when he was on an offensive chance. It looked like he had the wind taking out of him a little bit, and he didn't return to the game in the third period. So that's something to look at right there for the Flyers, and also even for the Pittsburgh Penguins losing Mark Friedman as well. So who knows what those guys are going to be like going into Saturday's game. And even, too, with Joel Farabee, his situation on the COVID protocol. Is it a contact tracing thing? Did he get COVID? So most likely we're not going to be finding out, most likely I would say, for maybe a 48-hour span at this point. For Joel Farabee, I most likely would consider him not available for the game on Saturday, since that game is at 1 o'clock, and you're most likely not going to get any type of results before that game, even though I think they are doing rapid testing at the same time. But I'm not going to expect anything drastic. And if you look at the shot totals for this game, Flyers outshot the Penguins once again. Once again, another game for the Flyers with 35-plus shots on net. First period, even apiece, 11 shots for both teams. Flyers outshot the Penguins in the second period 13-10, and the Flyers outshot them in the third period 11-8. Final total of shots 35-29 in favor of the Flyers. Faceoffs dead even, and power plays the Flyers go 1 for 2. Pittsburgh goes 0 for 2. and hits. This was a very physical game. These teams were going at it tonight, especially Mark Friedman. For some reason, this team hates Mark Friedman, and hey, I don't care. I don't care whatsoever. I think Mark Friedman is a pussy. I completely think that. Yeah, this was a very physical game. The Flyers had 9 block shots, and a big difference from this game to the previous game, not as many turnovers. The Flyers only had, as the stats say, 1 giveaway, and the Penguins had 9 giveaways in this game. So the Flyers completely changed the way they played from the last game on Tuesday, not turning the puck over a lot. It basically just was those fluky plays in the first 5 minutes, which allowed the Penguins to go up 3-0. But the Flyers settled down, they mucked and grind, and they found a way to win. What a win by this team. What a performance by the captain. Amazing performance by Claude Giroux. I don't want to hear any slander from him. I absolutely do not want to hear any Claude Giroux slander. Because, you know, those Claude Giroux haters, they're just hating this. They're absolutely despising him playing good in this game. They're despising him stepping up. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So, what are your thoughts on this game, everyone? What are your thoughts on the Flyers coming back down from 3-0, winning 4-3? Your thoughts on Claude Giroux's game? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. So don't forget to leave those down there. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I am a part of. Their links will be down in the description below. Don't forget to check out the Flyer Up podcast merchandise website. And just don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next time. Oh boy, I love Claude Giroux so much.